Give me liberty or give me death. And this is the quote that we would like to run as closing government, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you why on side opposition, there's basically little to no democracy at all in the first place. And first of all, let me move to my rebuttal. What we stated by opening opposition, leader of opposition, LO, he stated that if with coalition, they could form a minority government. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think the side opposition mistook how a government works. And let me tell you how it works. Well, first of all, a government supports of Senate and also House support. Without Senate and House support, the one thing for sure is that could happen is that nothing would get done. Government inefficiency will occur. Well, ladies and gentlemen, well, that point doesn't stand because first of all, the majority party, the party that have more votes, would confirm or have a higher chance of taking power than the party that is minority, which we stated by side opening opposition as well, where party with majority tends to get more votes. And ladies and gentlemen, don't you think that is contradicting in the first place? Well, second point as stated by the opening opposition is that they said that all of this with coalition government, it could actually occur and it could be way better. But let's tell you what us as the closing government sees it. And let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. What if, just look at in status quo itself, no thank you. Later status quo itself, let's say party A. Party A gains the vote of almost majority, while on the other hand, party B gains like half of a small portion of vote. And let's just say party C gains votes because people dislike party B. But in the other hand, party A and party B forms into a government. And will people be mad at it? Well, yes, of course, ladies and gentlemen, which brings me to my first expansion of what is stated by my member of government in these points. Where first of all, it undermines democracy. Where people wanted fairness in democracy. The only thing that voting occurs is because number one, fairness. Number two, democracy. But with this, the people want actually does not achieve. But on the other hand, it went 180 turn around. And that is a major flaw as side government we would like to state. On the other hand, forming a coalition government takes time. It does not occur in one day or just 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen. And what about the time frame in between the point where during the voting until a coalition government is formed? Well, as side government, I would like to expand further on my member opposition points where it could be political instability in the country. Let's look at status quo itself. Look at Malaysia. 13 May of posting of 13 May has been occurred on TikTok all over the place. Until even the Ministry of Communication and Multimedia will need to post up a warning sign. Cyber Security Malaysia will need to put out a sign to tell people to report this post because it's bringing instability to the country itself. And let me tell you what will happen when instability occurs. No, thank you. Well, first of all, in terms of economical standpoint, the economy will plummet. Because why? First of all, the investor will just move out of the country due to instability. And so number two, what will occur is that the economy of the country will actually goes to a downfall. And this is the domino effect of all of this if this motion is rejected in the first place. Yeah, and that will backfire towards the face of those opposing. No, thank you. Number two, as side government, we have two things that we're trying to put up to the table. Corruptions. Well, first of all, like what we stated by member of government, he stated that corruption will occur because first of all, two of these parties most likely would have, first of all, they would have different beliefs in their ideology, which we also bring up by side opposition, where they have different ideologies. So what happens when both sides have different ideologies? Well, they would clash. Well, they will tend to get lesser and lesser things done in the first place. And eventually, when lesser things will get done, inefficiency occurs. And when they try to make one thing to pass, when one party try to make it pass, they will tend to use corruption. Eventually, it will lead to corruption in the end of the day.
PI, please?
No, thank you. And let me tell you what could also happen inside opposition side work. Since they state that let's say even if actually a coalition government is formed, then let me tell you that it's actually have a higher chance of the coalition government having lesser experience because them scooping out or those having lesser votes to form a government. And with power, to form a government to gain all of those power. And power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. With people, everyone wanting to get in power, and eventually it will lead to one end. Corruption.
Please.
Yes, Chloe.
Imagine you're in your friend group, your best friends, you're the high com for a particular committee, right? How is corruption supposed to happen less on your side when no one's actually policing or, caring about what your friends are doing?
Well, yes, it could actually happen on both sides, corruption, yes. But we are trying to see here and how it actually can occur worse on just opposition side. How it occurs worse is by bribing the others to actually get their policy to go through in the first place. Well, on the other hand, side government, yes, corruption could still happen, but we are trying to prove here as side government is trying to prove here which side is better. And all of this harm that I told you just now in the past 6 minutes of my speech would have a lesser chance of occurring inside government work. Well, ladies and gentlemen and panels on the floor, I would like to remind everyone to look this into once again to see which sides have the true democracy in their system. And with that, I can end my speech. Thank you.